girl Torah, aka Torah in the building. Hold on. Okay, stalker. Have somebody follow me on Instagram, on IG, and I was trying to text. I said text. I mean check a message. I don't know if I should text the person back since I already done started the live, so they're probably just gonna have to wait. Sorry, Trey. Sorry, I had to say the name because they wrong with wait though. But yeah, y'all, this is the food that I put together. It's like a little soup. Get that visual right there. We gonna bow. Hold on, wait a second. Hold on, wait a minute. Wait a second. Gotta get that up in there. And we're gonna tilt it. Raise it. And tilt it again. Screenshot. Bow. Showing y'all how to get them angles. Oh, I forgot I put one in there. I was about to eat it. Alright. Then we could get it from this angle. Get it like that. Raise the camera. And then screen. Not me locking the phone. Alright, there we go. Bow. Okay. We about to dig into this. Okay. We about to scoop it like this. For those that don't know, this is yuca. And we gonna... I don't think you're really supposed to be like eating it with your hands, but I am, so. Bro, I don't be missing. Let's just say that this recipe, rice and peas, I'm telling you, I wish I was gonna get on live and I was gonna show myself cooking it, but I didn't know if y'all was gonna want to watch it. So I'm sorry, I kept it. But I can tell y'all what it is for the people that just joined. It's rice, brown rice with lentil. I got the onions. It's some red sweet onions. I guess it's sweet because it tastes a little sweet when I got it. It was I got it from a Dominican spot, where I got the yuca from too. And I just threw the onions inside of it. I added some water. I black olives, which next time I'll most likely use the olives with the seeds in it. And y'all, I did not know olives have seed. It has actual seeds inside of it. Like the right olives, they got the black olives, which is seedless, and then they got the actual olives that's like, you know, really good for you. It had a seed in it. Like I was recording the video. I think I posted it on this channel. I have another YouTube channel. I'm sorry, y'all. I did cheat on y'all. I just didn't know which YouTube I wanted to use. Okay, don't be upset. But I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't know if I want to get rid of this one, but it's like I done worked up all the subscribers, but then it's like I don't know if y'all enjoy, you know, what y'all see. So I was thinking about just deleting it, and it's like I don't know because it's like things I want to post on here, and it's like I done built this channel based upon like different things like hair tutorials and just like things that like I don't do no more, bruh. Like I'm righteous now. I live righteous. Like, hello. Like, I live righteous. And there's nothing wrong with it. Because you can still be human. But it's like sometimes you gotta separate. And it's funny. Because I totally forgot that that's what the word of the day was. It like that's what I read today. Like it says it's okay to be human. I guess that's God reminding me right now in this moment. Like, girl, you could keep your channel. Like, just make sure you just don't forget about me. Like, speak about me, and that's just that. I hear sirens. My mom said that means a good thing. So I guess word is like I guess that's my answer. Don't delete it. To just put him in it. Put him first, as the Bible says. Like, put me first in all that you do. And yeah. With that being said, I did want to share something with y'all just real quickly. Now that I shared my food and my recipe with y'all, might as well share the actual recipe. Get it? The recipe is the word, like the fruit of the spirit. The recipe. Y'all don't get it. Did y'all know bars though? Okay, anyway, I'm gonna stop playing around. Hi Katie. No Katie. I was gonna say Kathy, but it's Katie. Hi. Anyway, yeah, it just say I was reading it earlier, and it's funny because I didn't really get to finish everything because, yeah, I be doing this all the time. That's why I can't really, I don't know. If the Lord wants me to be a motivational speaker, I see He gonna have to prepare me a little bit longer because I be rambling, and it's like, girl, get to the point. And it's crazy because I was in church like just not too long ago, and I was like sitting there like, what is this dude talking about? So like I literally had to stay and pray, and I was just like, Lord, I said, forgive me, but I don't know what this man is talking about. I said, I done got on this dang on bus to come to this church. I said, I need you to speak to this man, or speak through him to me and other people in this church. And he did. I ain't gonna lie. It's like the pastor went from saying like a whole bunch of just whatever he was talking about in that moment. I don't know, obviously. But he went from saying whatever he was talking about to it's a lot of people that are fornicating, and you call yourself a Christian and you want to walk with God, but you out here smoking weed and smoking cigarettes and all this other stuff. Mind you, I was smoking weed. Like, I was smoking weed, and I started vaping because I told the Lord that when I had went to North Carolina to go for my grandmother's funeral, I was gonna put down the vape. I was gonna put it down. But when I got to North Carolina, I kept it. Not gonna lie, I threw it away in the trash. But like when I got there, I was still smoking it, and then I threw it away in the trash. But when I came across this person who worked at a smoke shop, she gave me one of her vapes, and obviously that was not right to do. And then when I was around family or my brother's family, they're not my blood family, they were smoking weed, and I partaked in it. Because before I went to North Carolina, I had stopped smoking weed. I stopped smoking marijuana. But when I got there, I picked it up. And that's one thing, we gotta be careful of the people that we hang around, because most of the time, if you really think about it, and this is something that I realize, is God really don't play about us. Like, He really is the on-time God, and it's like we be wanting Him to answer like so quick. And I realized, like, because I was like, okay, why is this like happening? Like, as far as like, it's like He was chastising me. Like, you know how like God, they say God is our Father. Like, it's like I was being chastised because I always said a prayer. I was like, Lord, anytime I go astray, like, I need you to snap me back to reality, pull me back in. And that's what He did. Like, I was sitting in that church, like, I said, okay, when I said, speak to me, Lord, I said, you ain't have to go that hard. Because it's like the preacher was talking like so calm, and it's like, I wish, you know, when you go to church and they be having the freaking whatchamacallit, they be having like the the service recording, and it's like they didn't have that in that church. At least I didn't see it. They just had the soundproof. That's why I was like, I wish I could have like documented it. But it was like I was just so shocked because it was like he was talking so calm and collective, and then it's like as soon as I said that prayer, it was like a switch. Like he just went hard in the paint. Like he was like, you know what? You guys don't know when you will die. He said, and it's like when the trumpet sounds. He said, no, when you worried about a trumpet horn sound, he said the trumpet is the word. When you hear the word, when you get the gospel, and you have to make a decision whether you're gonna do right or whether you're gonna do wrong. And I was just like, I said, hold up now, because I said, Lord, they said you coming back. So how soon you coming back? And if that's the case, then I'm done. I'm done. Like I'm turning from my wicked ways right now, right here in the paint. Like I'm not none. And I did just that. I took my butt to the altar. After the preacher got done saying his word, and he mentioned a guy that was in the church and that had a knife on the side of his pocket. Come to find out when we got back on the bus, y'all, because it was a bus that had picked everybody up, or like certain people up, that didn't have a ride to the church. Come to find out, something like I was talking to the guy, like, having a conversation with him. He was like, yeah, I'm from North New Jersey, da da da. And I'm like, oh yeah, I just came from up there, like, I live there. He's like, yeah, I've been da da da. just having a regular conversation. Something said, look down, and I look down, and I see a knife on the side of his pocket. Because the pastor, when he was saying that, because mind you, I said, speak to me and other people in this church. And he said there's a guy, or there's a man that has a knife on the side of his pocket, and he said, you fear man, but you ought to fear the Lord. And I was like, well, I don't got no. I said, okay, I know the smoking comment was for me, but I said I don't got no knife on the side of my pocket. But when I looked on the way back from us coming to church, and I was like, I said, oh, so he was talking about you. I said the Lord was talking about you. And I was like, well, hopefully you heard the message like I did, and when you went home, you turned from your wicked ways. And it's funny because I was telling my siblings, my little younger siblings, because he was like, oh, I got ops out here in the streets, da 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 da. Because he was like, he was going to go to the store, and he like pulled out a knife, and I was just like, boy, like it was like a little pocket knife. And then on top of that, it's like, sweetheart, that's not going to do you no good anyway, because you ever heard the saying, don't bring a knife to a gunfight? So you in a lose-lose situation either way. You going to have to call on the Lord either way, sweetheart. So, hello, wake up. But I was telling him, I said, nothing, you don't need that knife to go to no store. I said, you got ops out here. I said, sweetheart, I have ops. I said, I got ops too. I got people that don't like me. Yes, I may look all good and dandy, but sweetheart, unfortunately, you got people that will look at you and just don't like you, want to fight you. That's just that. I'm like, I had the same thing. I had people banging on my door at freaking 8 in the morning, because they thought I was sleeping, but they like. And you know what I had to do? I had to call upon the Lord. I had to call upon the Lord. I said, Lord, help me. I had a person accuse me of hitting them for no reason, and they went and told their sister that. A lie. And I had to call upon God. I said, Lord, because once a person tag in their sibling, it's like a sibling gonna ride for their sibling. Like ain't no ifs, ands, buts, ain't no talking to them. So I was like, Lord, like I said, I'm gonna really need you to make a way, because I said I done changed my ways. I said I don't want to fight the girl, and it says, God once said, let the light shine out of the darkness. And my light shined in that moment. Because I kid you not, when I was telling his sister the story, and we was like going back and forth, and she was like, well, he has a scratch on his face. And I kept saying it over and over. I said, well, because he put his hands on me first, so I had to defend myself. And she was like, all right, well, that's fine. And then he would say something. It was like he was controlling her, because he was like, it's like she would be like, all right, cool, you know, all this forgiving, like y'all just leave each other alone, don't go near each other. That's just that. And I said, that's cool. You don't got to tell me twice. But then it was like he would say something. He would be like, but she put her hands on me, sis, and then she was like, well, did you put? And I was just like, look here. I finally said, you know what? I had a cross around my neck. I said, you know what? At this point, I said, look here. I said, God, and I held it up. As soon as I held my necklace up, it's like everybody's hands went up in the air. They was like, oh. And I was just like, and it was the lady. She said, baby, go on head back upstairs. And I feel like that was the Lord. She said, baby, go back upstairs. It's not even worth it. It's not even worth it. Just go on head back upstairs. And I feel like that was the Lord, because it was like, it was nothing but like evil spirits in that moment. It was like, that's what it was. It's like the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And at that moment, the enemy was using those people to destroy my peace, my happiness, and like, cause I was in my apartment minding my business, and then here comes chaos coming to my door. And yeah, in that moment, my light shined, and the light, and I'm not even gonna say my light. I'm gonna say the Lord's light, because we all have a light inside of us. I'm not even just gonna like. That's why I don't like when people feel like, oh, they're not good enough, like to be loved or to be chosen by God, or you know. We are all God's children, and we all sin. Like, hello, like we all sin. Like, that's what this world, being in this world and on this earth is about. It's like you are born a sinner. Like, you, no matter, I don't care who it is. Like, at some point you're gonna do wrong. At some point you're going to go against God's commandment, but it's because of this person right here, whose name is Jesus, whose real name is Yahshua, died on the cross for our sins so that we can be forgiven. And I witnessed that myself. When I tell y'all, like, going back to the me being in the church, for those the ones that's still here, from when I mentioned it earlier, like I said, after I heard what that preacher said, I took my tail to the altar and I prayed. I asked God for forgiveness, and I told him, I said, look here, I repent. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. Because I was doing good. I was doing good. I had stopped smoking, and I went back and I started smoking. And I remember after I had went to the altar and prayed, I got resaved. I got saved, and then I got baptized biblically, because I had got baptized here in New Jersey at a Seventh-day Adventist church. But when I went, and it's so funny, because a little boy came up to me, and he was the one who nudged me to get saved. I mean, to get baptized, basically. Because getting baptized in water is basically a way of being saved as well. And he was like, because he said, I was like, church was over. It was other people getting baptized, like kids and all that stuff. And I was just watching. I'm like, and I was sitting there, but something was like saying like, hello, this is your moment. Thank you, Millie. And I love you too, the chosen one. Thank you. I'm 23 and I'm from High Point, North Carolina originally. But it was other people up there getting baptized, and I was sitting there and I'm like I said, it was like I was being nudged to go. But as the Bible says, which is God's word, everybody has free will. So it's like I knew I needed to go up there and be baptized. But it was like, it's like I felt the presence of God, like it's like I felt him like looking at me, like even though I couldn't see him physically, it's like I felt his presence, like, you know what you gotta do. But free will, you heard the word, so what you gonna do? next thing you know, because I was contemplating, I was like, I don't know, should I get baptized again? Like, I don't know, should I? Like, I should be good. Like, I repented. I said, I'm sorry, and I needed forgiveness, all that. But a little boy came to me and was like, he said, you gonna go get baptized? He said, I think you should go get baptized. And I said, look, I said, okay. And it's funny because the guy or the little boy, he was the same little boy that came to my door or my grandmother's door, and he was a friend of my little brother. And I didn't even realize it because he had gave me a fist pound when I was sitting in church, like before the whole baptized thing. But getting to the point, I went up there, I got back, I went to ask the lady because I told her, I said, I don't know if I need to be baptized again. I said, I was baptized before. I said, but it was like, and it's like I heard a voice. I heard God say, like, be honest, be truthful. Because it's like I was trying to beat around the bush. Like, basically try to say, like, no, I don't need to be saved. I mean, no, I didn't need to be baptized in water. I was like, I already went to the altar and prayed and got re-saved and all that stuff. So I was like, I don't know if I do really need to be baptized. But I was honest. I told the lady, I was like, I got baptized at a Seventh-day Adventist church. I said, I was like, but I don't know if I need to be baptized like biblically. And she said, no, we're gonna get you baptized biblically. And I was like, I said, well, okay. I said, well, okay, I ain't gonna go against the grain this time because I went against the grain. And that's the story that I have to tell y'all is I wasn't really supposed to go to North Carolina. Something told me not to go to North Carolina because I was supposed to go for my grandmother's funeral. But I was contemplating and I was asking the Lord, like, should I go? Like, because I wanted to go and show my respect and send my condolences, like, But they said she was getting cremated. And it was like, okay, well, what am I going for if she's being cremated? So, and then it's like when I first had found out that she had passed away, it was like I was on the phone with my dad and he was like, upset, crying and all this other stuff. And it was like, I cried a little bit, but it was like, I felt like a sense of peace. Like, it was like I cried or like a tear, like a little bit of tears came down, but it was like something just, like a wind, like I don't know how to explain it. It was just like her spirit like came and just like went like this, like dried my face, and it was like after that, like I couldn't feel no pain. Like it's like she didn't want me to cry. She was like, baby girl, like like they say funerals are for the people that regret. And it's like she was like, she came like in the spirit and was like, no, like, no, you don't need to feel no pain over me because you didn't do nothing wrong. And it's crazy because I say that because as I was sitting, I went and met up with my mom to talk to my dad to like calm him down over the phone because I was speechless. I didn't really know what to say to him, and which is odd because I always know what to say, but it's like in that moment I couldn't really say too much. So I like in this place, like mainly because my dad always listens to my mom when she speaks. Like it's like when I talk to him, it's like one ear out the other. So as I was sitting there at the table, I was on my Facebook page trying to find something for my dad, and it's like the phone just scrolled, like literally it just like I was scrolling slowly and then it just said whoop, like it just went on this like fast, and then it stopped on a picture of me, and the caption said, people be so focused on me that they don't realize the people I have behind me. And when I said that, I was talking about the angels, like my angels, like people that passed away, and God, and the Holy Spirit. And the first person I saw that liked it was my grandmother. And I was like, holy crap. I said, y'all. I said, nah. It's like my dad, like he was talking on the phone, but I looked at my mom and I showed her. I said, like I was pointing because I didn't want to talk and interrupt. And But I showed her. I was like, you see this? I said, like, I was mouthing. I said, like, I'm trying to tell her, like, I scrolled and it stopped right here, and it look who like look, it's like her. And then it's funny because the caption that it said, people be so focused on me that they don't realize the people I have behind me. And it's like when people pass away, they are not gone, like they're not dead, like it's just like that movie, and it popped in my head earlier. It's like a movie where, like a Halloween movie. It's I think it's called Ghostly or something like that, where it was like the two siblings, like they were spirits, but like they could, certain people could see them, or like that one boy could see them, but everybody else couldn't. And it was like they could redirect people, or like still like affect them, but they just couldn't be seen, except for like certain people who, like, I guess had a gift to see them or whatever. But I feel like that's like kind of what it is with us, like in the reality, in the physical. It's like when a person dies, it's like we're still, like, the living is in our flesh, but it's like when a person dies, it's like their spirit is disconnected from the flesh, and it's like they're still here on earth, but it's just like they're not able to touch us. That's why it's like you get a redirection. It's like somehow, like sometimes, like I was in here and it's like my face just turned like to certain, like a certain object, when I was actually thinking about taking something downstairs to the older man. And it's like I was looking for a bag. I was like, what do I put the stuff in? And it's like my face like just turned like down, like just automatically. It was just like, and I was like, oh, I can use that. And it's like somebody like just pushed my face. It's like it's funny. But getting back to the word, because my phone is about to die. It just says let the light shine out of the darkness, and this is the same God who made his light shine in our hearts. He gave us light by letting us know the glory of God that is in the face of Christ. This is from 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 6. And to basically elaborate, it's just saying we have a light that's already inside of us, and that light is God, meaning Jesus, or Yahshua, was an example of God, and he came in the, like, God came, that's why they say God came in the form of a man and all that stuff. It's like he kind of, that's basically what he did, to show us, how we should live, how we should eat, how we should treat each other, but mainly to follow his commandments. That's like really the main goal, is to follow God's commandments. And hold on, because my phone, gotta put on the charger. The lighting probably might be a little bad. But it's like we have to follow God's commandment truly and indefinitely, because that's what Jesus did. And it's like when you follow his commandments, you have peace. It's like when you go through worldly things, you get chaos. And that's what I did over the summer. I admit I'm gonna expose myself, like, and because people know who was around me. I was drinking, I was fornicating, I was, sinning with lust, like having sex and all that stuff, adultery. I was smoking weed and vaping, and all those things was doing nothing but causing me pain and allowing the wrong people in my space. Y'all heard the bars? Causing me pain, the wrong people in my space. Okay, keep up. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a little, and it's funny because we are like God. God, like the people in the Bible, the Psalm of David, where it's a poetry, and it's like we are literally like God. Like those times we're humorous and all that stuff. God is humorous. Jesus was humorous. I was reading the Bible the other day and Jesus was sarcastic when he said something to Mary or Martha, and she was like, when Lazarus had their brother had died, and they was like supposed to go to a certain area, and they were like, well, we probably shouldn't go because like the time, and Jesus was like, is it not 12 hours in a day? And I was like, oh, that's funny. I said, yeah. He was sarcastic. I said, that's where I get it from. My brother and my father. Jesus is my brother and God is my father. I said, yeah, that's where I get it from. So we are definitely like God. It's just the more you draw closer to Him, and that's also in the Word. Um, hold on. And it's, yeah, that's also in the Word. I had to make sure this was the right one. I wasn't thinking about one for the other day. It says, um, where is it? Because I remember it. I just had wrote it, I think, or maybe it was from the other day. Oops. No. It says it right here. It says, I received a dark thought. Or basically, this guy is dead, meaning physically separated from the flesh. So basically, I was, it says, as you grow, that's what it was. It says, as you grow physically as well as spiritually, God's grace, mercy, and love you shall feel. The light that the enemy / your mind has been trying to get you to hide, as well as negative speakers, meaning people that you have around you with like these negatives, like just a negative attitude where it's like you be trying to be positive and it's like they just be like, oh, whoa. Or like you be like, oh, look at what I did, like I made this, or look what I accomplished, and they just be like, well, I wish I could do the same. Or it's like they just can't say, oh, congratulations, that's so cool, I'm proud of you. They just be like, oh, cool. And it's just like it puts you down because it's like, well, maybe then it makes you question like, well, was it good enough? Because like their response, but no, it was good enough. It's just that you was talking to the wrong person. You was telling the wrong person. That's just all it was. You come tell me some good news, I'm gonna be like, baby girl, baby boy, good job. But you may tell another person and they just look at you like, and then go on and go back to doing what they was doing. So it's just like we have to surround ourselves by like-minded people. That's one thing. It's okay to be around, sinners or, people with not so joyful, happy, loving spirit because, you know, Jesus hung around sinners and the goal was to get them to turn from their sinning ways and to basically shine the light that God placed inside of them that they society or the world has dimmed. And it's funny because we be having like so many good ideas that God has placed in our heart and our mind, but we don't pursue it. It's like in my self-discovery or my journey with growing with God and getting back to his side and his word, I've learned that I got a beautiful voice. Like I've always wanted to sing. And it's like God has brought me back to that. Like where I be in here like off camera singing. And it's like I used to be so embarrassed about it because I would be so worried like, oh God, like maybe like, the neighbors might hear it and I might be disturbing them, or they might just not even disturb it, but like they might hear it and be like, girl, shut up because you can't sing. But if we just stop worrying about what other people think and just literally focus on what God thinks, like pleasing God, I promise you your life will go so much smoother. Like I promise you. Like how God promises us that there's a land full of milk and honey and all that stuff, I promise you. Like if you literally stop trying to please the people around you and just focus on pleasing God, Like, for example, like the Bible says, love thy neighbor. Like, just say hi neighbor, how are you, girl? What's good? Or just giving them, like, I just gave my neighbor a plate of food and some water. Not even a plate of food. I gave him a bowl. I told him, and I was truthful. I said you make sure you eat it tonight. I said, because today is the last. I said the third day. I said I was gonna throw it away, and it's funny because I was gonna throw it away, but I said I was gonna give it to him like the day before or yesterday, but I didn't get to it because I was like, I don't know, like if it's gonna taste good. Like I was gonna throw a little marinara sauce on it. It was like spaghetti, like a little vegetable spaghetti. I was trying to experiment with new recipes and all this extra stuff, and to me it didn't come out good. So I like, add a little bit of water to it, drain like the flavor out, and I handed him the tomato sauce because just to throw it on top to take out, just in case the bad taste. And it's funny because as I was coming in, I was banging on the door downstairs because I don't know, the keypad just don't be working. It's like 1 minute it's working, then the next minute it's not. But he was the one who came and opened the door, and I was telling him, and I heard a voice say, God works in mysterious ways. And it's funny because I was like, I was just thinking about you. I was like, because he came to me, he said, do you have like, $2 like to spare so I can get some food? And I was like, I said, that's mighty funny that you said that. And that's when I heard the voice say, God works in mysterious ways. And I was like, I heard it, but I was like, I said, that's real funny because I was thinking about bringing you some food anyway. And that's what I did. I told him, I was like, I got like some spaghetti upstairs. I said I don't have like no change on me, but I said I got some food upstairs that I was already planning on giving you. I said, you want to take it? And he said, yeah, I'll take it. Because anytime I always be like cooking, or not always, obviously I don't take him food every day. But majority, I've taken him some food like a couple of times. Like a couple of times. So, thank you, Olivia. Thank you, girl. Thank you. It was improv. It just was improv. But, yeah, just give to your neighbor also. And also don't give with, like, looking for something in return. And it was another thing. The superintendent, when I was out in, down in North Carolina, obviously I had left the dogs, and it's crazy because I was only supposed to be there for my grandmother's funeral, but I ended up being down there a little bit longer. So, I had the superintendent. I gave him permission to go in my apartment, check on the dogs, and he did a solid. He said that he cleaned up their poop for me and all this other stuff, and he was feeding them, taking care of them for me, checking in on them while I was gone. And while I was down south, I remember he asked me for $30, and I really didn't at the time, like, have it to spare because your girl was in a jam. But it's funny because I always heard the song play, like, it's not about the money. We don't need your money. We just wanna make the world dance. Forget about the price tag. That's another thing. I used to be so scared to sing on camera. As you can see, I don't even care to sing. Like before, if anybody who saw my YouTube channel before, I used to be like, and it's like now, like I don't care, and it's all because of God. Like I don't care. Like as long as he, because he already told me that I could sing, so I don't care. Like, but yeah, I had went downstairs and I had knocked on his door. The same thing that I'm eating today. I took him like a bowl of it, the rest of it, because I'm like, this is also the last day for me to eat it, and obviously I wasn't gonna be able to eat all of that tonight, and I was gonna originally take the rest of it to the old man who I call my grandpa, but he called me his daughter. But I guess that's even better. The granddaughter is better than the daughter because it's closer. Yeah, I was going to take that to him as well, but I heard, a voice say, take it to Tony. And I was like, okay, I'll take it to him. And I said, oh, and that's when, the Lord placed it in my mind. I said, for taking care of my dogs. I said, that would be a good idea. Instead of taking him money, take him a bowl of food or take him some food. And I was like, it was kind of like a test a little bit because, you know, God doesn't really care about money and all that stuff. It's like, you know, the things that will warm a person's heart. Like, oh, you made me food. Because I know somebody made me food. Like, you made me food. Because you know how much time it takes, like, to do that? Like that, to me, that's worth way more than money. And I told him, when I knocked on the door, I said, I had made you, this food. I said, for taking care of my dogs while I was out of town. I said, but I gave him free will. I gave him an option. I said, look, I said, unless you want the $30, I said, you could have, I said you could take the food or you want the $30. He said no. He said no. He said I'll take the food. I'll take the food. And I heard I heard a voice say, good choice. Like he made a good choice because it's like before he was asking for money, but it's like I was in a jam, so it's like he thought I was good and dandy, and I wasn't good and dandy. He thought I had the riches, and I didn't have the riches. That's why he felt comfortable to ask me for the $30. And I guess God works in mysterious ways and, revealed to him, like, in that moment, I really was down bad. So I guess this time, when I saw him and I gave him a choice, like, I'll give you the $30 if you still want it. But I did make you this. And, he took the food. And he was like, thank you, I appreciate it. So, yeah, it's all about, and it's funny because me and him, we had a situation, and that's another thing. You got to forgive people that, did you wrong or put you in, like, a bad situation. Because it was a time where he was kind of, and I hope he don't, he's a good guy. And I hope he don't be upset for me saying it. But it's part of my testimony. He was kind of flirting with me, and he had basically a whole family. He has a whole woman who he lives with, the mother of his kids. Because I don't like to say baby mama. Baby mama just sounds, I don't know. But the mother of his kids. And at the time, I didn't know he had a woman and let alone kids. But he was like, asking me on dates, and I was like, no, I'm good. And at first, I'm not gonna lie, he did have colorful hair, Lord, forgive me. And I thought he was rooting for the other side. Because he had, like, colorful hair. And I know that's so wrong. Like, I don't know. I thought when I first saw him, like, I don't know, like his presence or, like, the way he had approached me that first time, I thought he was gay. And I thought I was safe. But I guess that's just a little laughter for the story. But yeah, it turns out he wasn't. He was trying to get with this over here. He was not letting up. But I told him, I was like, no, I'm good. Like I'm good. And then come to find out, I saw him outside, with a lady, or he was carrying like his son. And I'm like, okay, he got kids, so that's different, And then come to find out, he had a woman. And I said, well, I guess that was my discernment. And that was, and it was funny because I made a video, like, before that, like, where another situation like that happened. I don't know what be wrong with these men. Guys. Like, y'all really be trying to get us caught up. Like, I know y'all may, like, be ready to risk y'all life with y'all women, but please don't risk our lives, okay? Cause I love my life. It may be chaotic sometimes, but I love my life, okay? I ain't ready to die because you wanna backslide, like, no. But yeah. And yeah, she had confronted me about it, the situation. I said, you know what? I said, I'm not about to go back and forth with you. I said, I'm going to show you these messages.
I said, that's what I did. I said, I said, you about to, I said, nope, what you're not about to do. I said, here, you can read it for yourself. Go ahead. Because I was about to explain it, but I said, ain't no need to explain it. I said, the proof right here. Go ahead. Because if I explain it, you might not believe it. So maybe if you see with your own eyes, go ahead. And ever since then, it just has been left alone. Like, girl, hey, look, I don't want your man. Okay? I am too beautiful. God said we are all beautifully and wonderfully made. And that is what I am. So I am beautifully and wonderfully made to be somebody's mistress or somebody's maid. Okay? Okay? And who everybody else that's watching on here, you are too. So don't be nobody's side chick. You are a wife. You are wifey material. You are husband material. Okay? Don't be out here accidentally, destroying somebody's happy home, family. And I told him, I said, look here. I said, the day he came up when my brother was here, or my god brother, about, I can't remember what had happened, but he was helping me with something in my apartment, fixing something up in here. And I told him, I said, I appreciate you doing this for me, but I said, don't come looking for something in return. I said, you got a beautiful home, a beautiful family downstairs. I said, you better appreciate that. I said, don't do it. I said, don't come. I said, you better appreciate what you got. And my brother, my god brother, he was like, what you talking about? I said, I don't got nothing to do with you. I said, he know what I'm talking about. And I'm one of those type of people where I don't really go to my brothers about everything, whether it's my blood brothers, god brothers, any family. Like, anytime I'm in a situation, it's between me, God, and the person. That's just the way I am. I was never really the type. I remember a good story time before I end this live. A boy, when I was younger, had slapped me on my face. And I took that hit, and I didn't. Everybody was like, they was like, you not gonna go tell your brother? Like, you not go tell your brother? Like, you want me to go get your brother? And I was like, no, it's okay. Because I was gonna just forgive him, because I was like, it was just a misunderstanding. He was trying to defend, I guess, his friend or whatever. And yeah, it was like a little situation with these girls I was cool with. We got into like a little bit. This I was like 9 years old, 8 years old. And the girl, they was like saying, calm down. They was like saying that I couldn't come in. And, I was trying to talk to them about like apologize, like just talk to my friends or whatever. And, all right, just ignore it, girl. Ignore it. All right? Come on. She be on go. But, yeah, he was like pushing me, and then next thing you know, he just slapped me. And I walked away, and, my friend Daisy, she came to comfort me. And it was like, she was like, that's the one. She was like, you're not going to like tell your brother, no. And I was like, no, it's okay, I'm good. I was like crying, I was wiping my face, and then I just got up, because I was sitting behind them little green things in the apartment complex, the little green thing that people used to sit on. If you know, you know. And we was like sitting camped down. We wasn't sitting on top, but we was sitting like behind it. And I got up and we started walking back, and I was planning on like confronting the boy, like, hey, like, why just slapped me, like, that was wrong. And I was gonna, it's funny because I was gonna apologize to him, I think. And next thing you know, yep, see, I knew somebody in here was gonna know. Next thing you know, we walking back, all I hear is my brother. Like, who slapped my brother? Where my sister at? I'm like, oh shoot. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, who the heck told my brother? It's like, because I was the person, like, I stood just 10 toes up by myself. Like I said, like, I was the type, like, if you hit me, I could take it. Like, but if you hit my family, that's a whole different story. So that's why I never, like, tried to get my family involved in stuff. Because, like, how the stories when people be like, oh, I'm going to get my brother or I'm going to get this person, and if something happened, it's like, it would have never happened. You would never got the person involved. So like I never like wanted that to be the case for any of my friends or family or none of that. So I always just took, you know, my L's or took a punch to the face or like just defended myself. So I hear my brother and he like, where my sister at? Who like, blah, 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 and I'm just like, oh shoot. I'm like, who the heck told my brother that this dude gonna slap me? Next thing you know, I get to him. He like before I could say anything, cause like I was telling, I'm like, I'm okay, like I'm good, I'm alright, I'm good. Next thing you know, he looked at my face because I'm white now. All you see is a handprint. I didn't see it for myself, but everybody else in the neighborhood, they saw it. And they like, he left a handprint on your face. And all I know is when my brother saw that handprint on my face, my brother is not, he not like Cain and Abel. My brother is about to keep it for real. And not in the other way. He saw that handprint on my face, he said, oh heck. He said my brother wore glasses. So he said, he was like, he took his glasses off. He said, hold my glasses. He was like, and our other sister, she was like, I'll hold it. I'm right here. And he was like, but she was too far, so he just threw it to me. Next thing you know, he just went up to the dude and just said, well, pow, 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 pow. And I'm just watching. Because mind you, my brother, everybody looked at him like a little geeky boy. And he was always quiet. And mind you, this was the first time I seen my brother ever fight. So I'm just as appalled as everybody else. It's like I seen my brother get angry like in the house, but like I never seen him like fight in the field. And it was just like everybody outside had the same reaction. We all like, oh my goodness, because the boy was up against the wall like this trying to fight, and my brother was just like pow 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 pow. And I'm just looking like, I felt bad. Like, I felt so bad for the boy. And mind you, this was a person who slapped me in my face. But I felt so bad. And if you know, my friend, her brother, the girl who covered me, her brother was the one who came and pulled my brother off. Because y'all, I tell you, the boy was just up against the wall, and my brother was just coming in. And I was just like, oh my goodness. I said, Lord, make it stop. Like, I'm like, Lord, oh my goodness. I think that's what happened. But because I called him Lord, and I guess he touched somebody to break up the fight. Because I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, I know he deserved it, but like, I'm like, dude, relax. I'm okay. I'm still alive. I'm still breathing. Like, even though I got a little handprint, I'm good. I'm straight. Let him breathe. But yeah. That's and that brings me to the last scripture of the day. I guess something like I just looked down and it says, "Be strong and of good courage." So, yeah, God works in mysterious ways. I didn't even know this how the live was gonna go. I was planning on sitting down, eating my food in front of y'all. Not even gonna lie. Like I was gonna read the little scripture like one, and then that was gonna be done. But yeah, we're gonna get to it. It says this is from Deuteronomy, and it does tie together. That's tough. Like, yo, like that's just living proof. God is like really, like he real. Like, and he got a plan for each and every one of us. And if we just follow through, it's like you'll be amazed. Like by the things he do and show you. And it's funny because like as I said earlier, it's like I looked down at something, and it was like somebody moved my face, and it's like I looked down, like just down, like, and my eyes went directly, because as you see, it's a lot on this paper, like a lot, but my eyes went straight to here, and when I looked down, it's like it ties into the story. That's crazy. That's why you gotta give God the glory for real. Not for real. But yeah, I'm gonna hurry up. It says, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just appalled right now, bro. That's crazy. Like, that's why I can never, even though I never, like, push my religion on nobody. I just be like, bro, you gotta test that spirit. Like his word, like he tells us test the spirit. Like it's like he basically like drawing that line. You know how a person be like, they'll draw a line. They be like, come on, cross over. Come on, cross over if you want to. That's like what it is. It's like he like, come on, but it's like in a good way. It's like, cause you, it's like I'm gonna show you what you looking for. Like it's like you keep questioning if I'm real. You cross this line right here, I'm gonna show you that I'm real. And it's like, but it's in a good way. It's like I said, if somebody draw that line, be like, come on, cross this line and see if I'm about that life. And it's like that's what it is. It's like he tells you test the spirit, like come across the line, so I can show you how real I am, how real it gets, how good and merciful I am, like how loving and joy I am, like how I can instill that positive attitude in you that nobody could ever take from you. Cause I was just downstairs the other day and like somebody was yapping about my dog Harley barking, and before, because I was not in God's good grace, I used to let it bother me. But it was like, I just laughed. I was like, I said, look, I ain't even worried about that. I said at this point, I said a lot. I was like, it's funny because before I used to be so worried about them. Like, they used to be like, oh yeah, dog, you need to put them on a leash. And it's stuff like I let Harley run around. I'm like, she ain't hurting nobody. She a chihuahua. What she gonna do besides bark? But that's why I was like, God, like once you get in the presence of Him and you realize that you ain't doing no harm to nobody, and He know that too, like everybody else's opinions, everything else, what everybody say don't matter. But yeah, get into the word. It says Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 6. Thank you, final boss stacks. I see your comments. Even though I'm talking, I'm multitasking. I just couldn't say it to you. I had to get out because I'm the type, if I don't get it out, I'm gonna forget it. But I see you. I seen what you said. And hi, Richard. I like your personality. Or I know you said I got a good heart when I was saying I felt bad for smacking the guy. And, when he smacked me, and I felt bad for him watching him get beat up. You said I like your personality, maturing in spirit. Thank you. All right. So it says Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 6. Be strong and of good courage. Do not fear nor be afraid of them. Meaning them, or actually I'm going to keep reading. Do not fear nor be afraid of them, for the Lord your God, He is the one who goes with you. He will not leave you nor forsake you. And that ties into the story where I was in a situation where people was knocking on my door, and the girl, I said it earlier, when she accused, her brother was telling her that I hit her in the face and all that stuff. But it also ties into being of good courage, like when the boy slapped me in my face, and I was willing to talk it out still after and forgive him for it. And it's like I wasn't even scared to go up to him. Like he could have walked, I could have walked up to him again, and he could have just said, well, pow, smacked me again. But I wasn't worried about that because it just goes to show like I wasn't scared of him. Like, and because I knew, and it's crazy. Like when I was a kid, I always believed in God. I always wrote to God in my journals. So I knew He was with me in that moment, and that's why I was willing to forgive him, because I was like, He didn't mean to do that. Like it was all out of anger and frustration. It was a misunderstanding and all of that stuff. And I was such a sweet, innocent girl around that time. Yeah, it was a time where me and my brother's god sister, we had gotten into a little back and forth, and she had, as she called it, a knuckle sandwich. And I didn't hit her back because I was like, well, she's my sister. And my grandmother was like, Torria, you don't let nobody put their hands on you. Somebody put their hands on you, hit them back. And it was like after she told me that, that's what my life was about. And it's like anybody stepped to me, it was like, well, pow. Anybody came too close, it was like, pow. And it's like you have to like steer away from that. And it was like I had to realize when I was in North Carolina, it's like that self-discovery. Like I didn't used to do that, and I used to always ask God. I recently in my prayer, like last year, I was asking him, I was like, Lord, like I know I got like so much hurt and anger and frustration and like traumatic experiences like inside of me. But it's like I always wondered, like I was like, where do it stem from? Like where do it come from? Like why am I angry? Like why do I feel the need to like just like be ready to fight and all this stuff? And it's like while I was in North Carolina, it's like he brought it to the forefront of my mind. It's like I said a prayer, like Lord, bring it to the forefront of my mind. Show me like or tell me like where do it come from? And it's like while I was in North Carolina, I was trying to go for my grandmother's funeral, but there he was showing me, he was answering my prayers in that moment. And for those that don't know, I'm gonna probably do another video, an actual video where I'm talking about it, and I'm gonna probably most likely post it, cause I kind of recorded everything. Cause if I be on here, I'm gonna be on here for a while. But I'll give y'all like a little summary of it. It's like I was. Nah, I'd rather, yeah, because for those that like a visual learner, I'd rather show y'all and talk about it. Because like I said, I was like recording it and all of that stuff. But it was just mainly, I realized like compared to when I was living with my mom versus when I was staying with my brother's grandmother, it was like a different type of living situation. It was like my mom, she took us to church. My brother grandmother, she didn't. My mom, she taught me, like, somebody hit you, tell the teacher, they hit you again, give them a warning. Third time, then you will pound them. But my grandmother, it was like, well, my brother's grandmother, not the one that passed away, obviously. It was, because you can't see somebody if they passed away. It was my brother's grandmother who I was living with at the time. And she was like, you know, somebody hit you, you hit them back, and that's just that. And you know, my mom taught me about the Bible, love thy neighbor. And my grandmother, like, I was willing to forgive my brother's sister. And my grandmother was like, no, you whoop her tail. Like, I remember when we was actually in the middle of talking, my brother, God's sister had, like, swung on me. And I just immediately swung on her back. And it was like, after that, like, she left and my grandmother high-fived me. She was like, yes, that's right. You defended yourself. And I was just like, I'm like, I get a high five for that? But I was like, okay. And after that, that's what shaped, you know, me wanting to, like, be fighting and all that stuff and carrying on, not, you know, using my words instead. But, yeah, God is good and Jesus loves y'all. He's very much real. And if you don't think he is, call upon his name one day when you need him, like me when I was astray. So, y'all have a good night, a good day, and y'all know what to say. If you don't, it's see you later, alligator, in a while, crocodile.